Breaking tonight, just hours ago, President Joe Biden saying he will visit East Palestine, Ohio at some point as they continue to recover from the train derailment there. Take a listen.
I've spoken with every official in Ohio, Democrat and Republican, on a continuous basis, as in Pennsylvania. I laid out a little bit in there what I think the answers are. We put it together, and we will be implementing an awful lot into the legislation here, and I will be doing something.
So do you plan to travel there, and have you talked with the mayor?
I can't recall whether I don't think I've talked to the mayor. I've talked to everyone else there, and multiple times.
Is the president going to go to Ohio, Kareem?
I don't have at this time, I don't have anything to read out or announce on a travel to Ohio.
Two questions. First of all, the president frequently visits the sites of many natural and man-made disasters, and this situation in East Palestine has clearly required a multi-agency response from the federal and the state level. So I guess I'm just struggling to understand why the president wouldn't go to East Palestine. Does it simply not meet the bar for a presidential visit?
Look, I want to be very clear here. There's no reason to struggle, I don't think, on this question. I think when you look at how the federal agencies have responded from day one and took this very seriously.
Why has the president not made the visit out there? And at this point, is he just not going to? He's done a lot of travel in recent weeks and months.
So I'm just going to repeat what the president said. He will travel to the area, to East Palestine. Just don't have anything to share on travel or upcoming dates that he'll be there.
Just on East Palestine, Do you have any update on the president's plan to travel?
Well, as you know, the president is planning to travel to East Palestine for information at this time.
And as he left the meeting, he said about Ohio. He was asked about East Palestine and supporting legislation that's in the works. He said, I will be there soon. Is there a plan for him to go?
I don't have any trips to preview for you at this time.
Just one more. The president said over the long weekend that he hasn't had the occasion to go to East Palestine. I just haven't been able to break. The derailment was on February 3rd. President Biden has not had a break since February 3rd.
The president will go to East Palestine. He promised that he would, and he will. You saw him.
So he was not on a break when he was in Lake Tahoe?
I will say this again. The president is going to go to East Palestine, as he has said that he is committed to do. You saw him just this Saturday visit a rural area, right, that was devastated. Some parts were devastated by Hurricane Idalia, and he was there with the First Lady. They were able to hear directly from the American people, and he was able to talk about what is it that they need. What else do they need from the federal government? So the president is going to go to East Palestine. I don't have a time or date to announce at this time, but he will go.
Are there any plans for President Biden to visit East Palestine?
I don't have anything to share on a planned visit for the president to Ohio. Go ahead. So as the president said, he will go to East Palestine. I don't have any travel plans at this time to announce from here.
Has the president spoken to the mayor of East Palestine?
I don't have.
Does he have any plans?
I don't have a call to read out.
And then can you give us an update when it comes to East Palestine? The president has said that he would go. He has not yet. And also, Governor Mike DeWine asked the president to issue a major disaster declaration a few weeks ago. Is that something the president is going to do? And if so, when?
So on your first question, the president intends to go. Don't have a time or a date to preview at this time.
There have been several questions about presidential travel.
Yeah.
About 5 weeks ago, President Biden said that he would be going to East Palestine, Ohio at some point. Does the president still feel the need to visit Ohio?
Well, the president, once the president said it, so I will keep that, he keeps to his word. Don't have a trip to lay out or preview for you at this time.
I'll ask you one more. President Biden said several weeks ago that he plans to visit East Palestine. Can you update us on that? When is he going to be visiting East Palestine, and why hasn't he yet?
So the plans are underway, discussions are underway, just don't have anything locked in at this time. The president's words stand on what he shared about at some time going to visit the community.
Senator Manchin said this week that the president visiting there would give confidence to the residents. Obviously, I know you guys haven't announced anything, no plans right now for him to go there, but do you think it could make a difference for the president to go, even if all that accomplished was to give some sort of reassurance to many of the residents there who are still very worried and upset about what happened?
Look, I believe you heard from the president just yesterday, who said that he's planning to go there at some point.
It appears as if not going to go, not going to go. Okay, now we're going to go. So what are the factors that will be required for the president to go? Is it a specific deliverable that he can bring? Is it a specific invitation from local officials? Is it a certain kind of window where he will feel comfortable?
Well, he already got an invitation from the governor. I think you heard the governor said he's welcome to come to Ohio. He's been to Ohio many times before during his administration, so it's not unusual for him to go there. Look, I don't have anything to preview.
Does the president still have plans to visit the disaster site in East Palestine, Ohio?
So I don't have any schedule of the president at this time.
The year anniversary of the East Palestine derailment is, I think, about a week away now. When's he going to go? And it's been almost a year. Yeah. Is this becoming more of a hindrance to the president and a sign of almost insensitivity by not going?
I'm not sure it's a sign. I wouldn't say it's a sign of insensitivity. Let's be clear here. As it relates to the president's trip, obviously don't have anything to announce at this time.
Speaking of the president, he still has not visited East Palestine, Ohio. I don't know why that is. That doesn't seem to make much sense to me. But if Congress needs pressure to get this done, why wouldn't he just go to East Palestine and use the bully pulpit the way that, Harry S. Truman would do, try to shame Congress into passing that? Why is that not even like an idea that the White House would contemplate?
I don't have any updates on the scheduling front for the White House, but what I can tell you is it shouldn't take anything more than we've already seen happen for Congress to act.
And I know you're not at the White House, but I just want to put a fine point on this. You're not saying today when the president will go.
I don't have scheduling news to make, but I want to emphasize the policy news here.
First question, is President Biden planning on traveling?
So on the first question, what I do know is that the president cares a lot about this issue. He's spoken repeatedly with me and other senior members of the administration about what can be done both to support the community and to hold these railroads accountable.
President Joe Biden is in the Buckeye State visiting East Palestine, the site of a fiery train derailment more than 1 year ago. This is his first trip to that area since that incident. The derailment displaced thousands of people and left many fearful of the toxic chemicals that spilled when a Norfolk Southern train went off the tracks. The president, a short time ago, received a briefing on the recovery efforts happening in East Palestine.
The U.S. EPA, the Department of Transportation. We'd also like to thank Governor Mike DeWine, the Ohio EPA, the Ohio EMA, and the Department of Public Safety, and all of our state and local partners that have been with us since the beginning. Our village has faced many challenges, but as a community, we have shown resilience. We will not be defined by this single event, rather our response to it and our perseverance. President Biden, your long-awaited visit to our village today allows us to focus on the things we agree with, acknowledging this disaster should have never happened, address the long-term health concerns and the economic growth of the village.
UK Administrator Regan, as well. We just concluded a briefing.
Loss of life, prevented serious injury, and additional property damage in the surrounding residential areas. Folks, it's been a year of action, and I'm proud of all we have accomplished together since last February.
Let me be clear. While there are acts of God, this was an act of greed that was 100% preventable. Let me say it again. An act of greed that was 100% preventable.
Area Farm
Bureau.
That's right.
Everybody thinks Delaware is almost $4 billion. No one ever doubts anything I say. Sometimes I say, oh, I mean, I get in trouble.
Mr. President, any message to residents who question why it took a year?
It's time to leave.
Any message from residents who question why it took a year?
Sir, this is the site. This is where it goes, where it took place. So this is ground zero.
Joe, there's been a lot of speculation about why the president took so long to visit the village.
Yeah, good morning. And Mike used the word finally, and I think that's the way a lot of people are viewing this. Traditionally, President Biden, whenever there has been a disaster, whether it was a hurricane, whether it was a wildfire, there have been much quicker visits. In fact, I think we can put on screen how quickly the president visited Maui, for instance, in the aftermath of their wildfires, Hurricane Idalia last year, which impacted the southern portions of the United States. Here we're talking about 370 plus, almost 380 days since the East Palestine train derailment.
Look, I want to be very clear here.